Help us boost our channel and create more content for you. It's uncomplicated. Access the Amazon.com link in the video description and make your purchases there. With this simple act, you'll be providing us with great support.
Sometime back, I happened to be in a situation where a friend of mine was drunk. So, when she was in the drunk state, she was repeatedly saying that please don't judge me as I'm drinking. Please don't judge me.
It is… but she's lost her judgment, but she doesn't want you.
So my question is, whether it is alcohol or not, in life, why are we so apprehensive about being judged by others? And how can we not let this come on our way of being happy?
Look at me. Say, I'm always stoned. Never touched a substance, but always stoned. You can judge me whichever way you want. Because one thing is, I'm stoned in such a way that I have not lost my judgment at all. And at the same time, whichever way you judge me has absolutely no impact on me because I'm completely stoned. Having said that, why this consumption of alcohol and drugs is growing the way it's growing in the world is, this is because the heavens have been collapsing. Yes, I was in Bangalore just 3-4 weeks ago. There were over 8,000 people doing a 2-day program with me. And just casually I asked, how many of you think you will go to heaven? Only 5 hands went up. Then I asked, are you all the hell people? No, it's just that both heaven and hell have collapsed in people's minds. This is the first time in the history of humanity that this many people in the world can think for themselves. Otherwise, your priest, your mullah, your pandit or a book was thinking for you. The first time that so many people can think for themselves. Or they're thinking right, thinking wrong, there are many issues about that. But they're thinking right, thinking wrong, but they're thinking. So all illogical things are naturally collapsing. Still, this generation has not fully walked away from it, still there is fear. They can't openly say, there's no goddamn hell or heaven. They're still fearful about it, but they're trying to make a little heaven for themselves here. So, hey, wait. So naturally, when they're not able to do it for themselves out of their own intelligence, they will fall back on chemicals. Today, just to take very affluent societies, because every society is aspiring to be like that. Let's say you take United States, which is the most affluent nation on the planet right now. 70% of US population is on prescription medication. Another 30%, of course, buying it off the back streets. Most affluent nation, obviously affluence is not working. To be healthful, you need chemicals. To be joyful, you need chemicals. To be peaceful, you need chemicals. To be ecstatic, of course, that is ecstasy. So, I'm not even looking at it morally. It's never a moral issue for me. If 90% of this population right now is on chemicals, believe me, the next generation that we produce will be a generation which is much less than us. If we produce a next generation less than ourselves, we have committed a crime against humanity, because the next generation must be at least one step ahead of us, otherwise we've lost it. We've lost the entire process of civilization when we produce a next generation which is actually less than us. So, we are heading towards this rapidly unless we teach individual human beings how to simply sit here and be blissed out. Stoned enough or no? Just look at me. But am I conscious enough, alert enough, clear enough? If there was a way to intoxicate yourself without losing your judgment, without losing your awareness, without losing your intelligence, it's a great thing. Intoxication is a fantastic thing. Only problem is, it takes away your judgment, it takes away your intelligence, incapacitates you. That is the problem, isn't it? Is it true? Ask anybody, you're not in the medical sciences, but ask anybody, is it true that this body here is the greatest chemical factory in the universe right now? The universe that we know at least? Only problem is you're a lousy manager. If you know how to manage this, you would be like me, always blissed out. Anybody can say what they want, anybody can do what they want. This is like this only. Because I have not given this privilege to anybody, that somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy, somebody can make me miserable. Right now, you are a consequence of other people's opinions. Where do you plan to go like this? Anybody can ruin you. You went outside, somebody told you, Shreya, you are the most wonderful human being we have seen. Then you were floating on that cloud, what number? What number? 9. Oh, in South we do 11. You were floating on cloud whatever number, and you came home, people at home told you who you really are. And the cloud will crash. No. It's very important that neither this way or that way, we listen to everybody because we could be doing something wrong. Hello? Any moment we could be doing something wrong, so we listen to everybody. But what they say will not determine how I am. Never, ever. This you must fix and you must tell your friend when she's not drunk. Because otherwise she won't understand. An infinite number of doorways. If you're very diligent, you will open a few of them. If you're brilliant, you will open many of them. But if you're truly vibrant, then they will open for you. The process of being successful becomes so complex for people that why they're working towards it is generally completely forgotten, and they will start evolving concepts of success, all kinds of concepts. What is being successful? I would like to… How can I tell you a joke? You're looking so serious. There was a man in India whose name is Shankaran Pillai. Okay, it's like John Smith. His son came to United States. Obviously, an Indian young man means he's a software engineer. He went to Texas, Houston and started working there. Then he fell in love with a white American woman. He struggled because back home, this love affair is a crime. He struggled and struggled, then one day told his mother, then the mother informed the father, and the father exploded. He went back home to convince him, didn't work, because in India, if you have to get married, they're tracing your family tree for 5,000 years. They are looking at the genetic purity of the person that you're marrying. So somebody from somewhere else, a white woman from America, how can you marry her? What do we know about her genetics? Where does she come from? What is her lineage? Da, da, da. No way to convince, he came back. And of course, when he came back again, he fell in love and they went ahead. Then the father disowned. Shankaran Pillai just disowned his son, I have nothing to do with you. But years went by and they had a boy. And the boy's picture from the day he was born, it was on the Facebook, and the wife sticks it in his face, and the little baby, and it is growing up every day and all the things. Slowly, you have disowned the son, but the grandson is a different matter. Slowly, within a matter of 1-2 years, he completely fell in love with this little baby that he has not seen. Things happened and people started coming from America, those who were traveling. Oh, you must see your grandson. You not seen him? Oh, you must see him, this is the fruit of your life. Slowly it caught him. Then he decided he's not going to see his son's face. He'll come to America and only see the grandson's face. And of course he's not going to look at that white woman. Then he came to America and a 7-year-old boy, full of energy, they're living on a small ranch, he's all over the place doing all kinds of things. He completely got washed away by this little fellow. Then this little boy one day said, "Grandpa, come I'll show you my archery skills." He took him to the barn inside and he went into the barn. There he saw 8 targets, all of them with the arrow in the bullseye. Shankaran Pillai looked at it and then he thought, oh, this is my grandson. He thought of all the great legendary archers of India, Arjuna and Ekalavya and he saw the future, all the Olympic gold medals falling from the sky. Then he asked, from what distance did you shoot? The boy said, from 20 yards. What? From 20 yards, 8 targets, you shot them dead on bullseye? How do you do this? Then the boy said, "Grandpa, I first shoot and then paint the target." So, these concepts about being successful can be very crippling. And I've continuously been with people, they've reached a certain point of success and their concepts of success are not fitting, their life is not fitting into their concept of success and it's breaking it and they think something is going wrong. It is not going wrong, they're just getting better, situations are pushing them on, but their concept is breaking up, so they're suffering their success. You will see any number of people going through these kind of things. When we talk about success, I'm sure all of you must be already having plans as to how to unfold this success in your life. Made your plans. Plan is good. But plans again can get caught up in things because you plan from what you know today. Nobody can plan from something that you do not know. Your plan means it is an exaggeration of today as a tomorrow. Right now you're here at a certain level, now you think, my plan means this must be 10 times more in this many years or whatever, or 100 times or 1,000,000 times or whatever. But plan is just essentially an exaggeration of what is today. Maybe there is a certain logic to it, maybe there is certain understanding of the logistic attached to it, but essentially it's an exaggeration of today. That means in many ways it's ruled out whatever other possibilities which are not yet in your experience. In Pennsylvania, you heard of the Pennsylvania floods? Pennsylvania has floods. It once happened, a big flood came and water started rising in a small town and it rose up to the house is getting submerged. So two young boys got onto the roof of their house and they were sitting there. And then they saw a hat going up and down and up and down in front of the house. One of the boys asked, "What is that? Why is that hat going up and down?" So the other boy said, "Don't worry, it's my dad. Yesterday night he got into a fight with my mom and took a vow, hell or high water, I'm going to mow that lawn." So, plans can be debilitating. It's good to have a plan, but it's more important that you have a purpose. If you have a purpose, plans will evolve, things will happen, plans will fall apart, new things will come up. Whatever has to happen will happen. If you hold on to a certain purpose, other things will just serve that purpose. But if you are very committed to a plan as such, then plan can become a blueprint for restriction. It is also a possibility. It's all right to hold a plan, but you must hold a plan at a certain distance. You shouldn't get identified with the plan. The process of success see, essentially success is a desire in every human. You can put some fire into it and make it your passion. But if it becomes a need within you that you must be successful, otherwise you will suffer, then you are heading for a problem, a serious problem. Our passions can turn into poison if we start becoming resentful for the non-fulfillment of those passions. When I say turning into poison, today there's substantial medical and scientific evidence to show that if you become resentful, when you resent something, when you're angry with something, when you're frustrated with something, we can medically today check, we can do a little bit of blood work and show you, you're actually putting poison into your system. These are poisons that you drink and you hope somebody else will die. Life does not work like that. If you drink poison, you die, and it's fair. It's very fair, isn't it? If you drink poison, you must die. I drink poison, I want him to die. It doesn't work like that. So these emotions always take away the fundamental ability. See, there is something called as a genius in a human being. Every human being has it, every human being touches it at some moment of life. But the question is, how often do you touch it? That's a question. You sparked once in your lifetime. That's not good enough. You must be sparking all the time, isn't it? What is genius? There are many ways to look at it. One simplest way to look at it is when we say intelligence, we are always thinking logical thought. Now, logical thought will be meaningless probably in another 25 years because your computer may be able to explore all the permutations and combinations of logical thought much quicker and better than you can do. So touching the genius means there's another dimension of intelligence within you. Have a break. So, he ate a chicken. Over the afternoon, this chicken has transformed itself into a human being. If you ask Charles Darwin, how long does it take for a chicken to become a human being, he would talk in terms of millions of years. Here he is. Over the afternoon, he transforms a chicken into a human being. So there is an intelligence here, there is a competence here, which is capable of what nature did over 1,000,000 years like that over the afternoon. Only thing is, This is an unconscious state of intelligence. Whatever is unconscious, if the necessary striving is there, you can make it into your conscious process. In your conscious process, if this intelligence, even a drop of this intelligence is available to you, suddenly life will spark like it's a magic. What everybody slogs for, you can just simply do it. Now when I say intelligence, always people will think this. If you say intelligence and ask them to show in sign language, they'll also always say this, isn't it? They'll not say this or this or this or this, but one cell in your body is doing more activity than your brain could ever do. One molecule of DNA is doing so many millions of functions in a minute that you can never ever figure it out. Yes, sir? So in yoga, in the yogic systems, in the yogic sciences, we never look at anything as mind. There's no such thing as mind. There is a physical body and there is a mental body. So you learn to think through your body. It's a short session, it's not an area that we should enter right now, but I have to tell you this. There are many things personally that I do at the same time. Now people come and tell me, just now I'm entering the session, somebody comes and tells me, Sadhguru, these building plans have to happen, because we do everything ourselves. Now by the time I get out, I'll have the building plan ready as I'm speaking here, because 12 to 14 channels actively keep going on in my head. It is not just in the head, you learn to think through your body. Learning to think through your body will never give you a headache, that's the best part of it. Now, all these responsibilities and thousand things happening at the same time, won't you get stressed? There is no such thing, because you use a deeper dimension of yourself and everybody is capable of this and everybody has it. You may not have the same level of intellect as somebody else has, that is always subject to person. But all of you eat, if you eat a carrot, you can digest it, that means you have another dimension of intelligence, yes? If you set up the necessary situation that everything that's there within the system is available for you, success is an assured thing for that person.
Then if you have a demon for your partner, that's the best thing. But your partner, your husband, wife is not just about spiritual growth, you also want to have a pleasant life in the family. Then you have to choose someone whom you like, but any human being on the planet, there is something that you don't like about them, isn't it so? So you use that part of it for your spiritual growth, and the rest of it you enjoy. Just as life. So if your intention is to have a good family, then some rapport is needed between two people, otherwise it won't work. Especially if you have produced children, then rapport is must, otherwise you'll foul the new life that's come up. If you create a foul atmosphere, you'll foul up the new life that is coming up. Nobody has any right to do that actually, but people are doing it. But no human being has any right… You can mess yourself up as much as you want, that's up to you. But you can't mess up a fresh life that's just coming up. So, if you're looking for good life, family life, then one has to find rapport. And that rapport means some areas of commonality at least. But if you're looking for spiritual life, it doesn't matter what kind of person he is, you can use everything for your growth. Everything for your growth, if that's all your focus is. But generally your focus is both ways. You want to have a little bit of that and a little bit of this. It's a mixed fare. So it gets a little complex. Just yesterday the other day I just went out in the rain, I went out and it started raining and I was carrying both my India phones because I was expecting some calls and one is India, one is Europe, one is America, 3 phones I had. One I had in my jacket, other in my trouser pockets, and by the time I got here it got wet and both the phones just burnt up. Then people around me were telling me, Sadhguru, why carry 2 phones? Now we can have 2 SIM cards in one phone. If you hold it like this, you can speak on the India SIM card. If you turn it around, it just shifts into the other SIM card. You don't have to switch anything, just this way it handles one SIM card. If you turn it around, it handles another SIM card. You have to become like this. I was very suspicious of this phone, I didn't get it, but but you must become like this. If you wish to take people who are around you with you, if you want to walk alone, it's very easy. If you want to take people with you, then it takes a considerable amount of effort. When Gautama was asked this question, is it better to walk alone on the path or with a companion? He's not like me, he's dry. He said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. He's not saying don't walk with anybody, he's not saying don't have companions, but he said it's better to walk alone than walk with a fool. Because they can drain you, they can take such a lot of energy and time and you don't know, they may be stronger than you and they may take you their way than you taking them your way. There's every possibility, yes? So, I won't say what Gautama said. All I am saying is, it doesn't matter how you walk, as far as your spiritual process is concerned, anyway you're alone. Nobody is with you. It's only the bodily process, the material process of life, which you can share with people. You come alone and you go alone, isn't it? Even if you have a twin brother or a twin sister, you still come alone and go alone, isn't it so? So when it comes to the spirit, anyway, you walk alone. So don't mix that up. So that part of it you handle well, the material part of it according to your capability, to what extent you can do it, you do it. They come your way, it's wonderful. If they don't, it's all right, don't grudge them. It's just that you don't have to go that way. Maybe someday, when the doctor tells you your liver is in a bad state, he may seek divine. Do you know? Yes. Have you seen people who are walking in the morning? Not everybody, there are certain type of people, these are all over 50, 55 age group people. They have become lean and they're walking briskly every day, religiously they are there. These are all people who generally had a cardiac problem. They almost died. Then their doctor told them, either you do this or you're gone. Now their walking is like a religion. Not Sunday morning, every morning. Have you seen those people? Suddenly they transform, they eat properly, they do everything properly because the fear of life and death has come. So different people need different kinds of impetus. If you're sensible, you learn by just looking. You're not sensible, you learn by thrashing. Life will thrash you. The material part of your life is never 100% proper, never can be, isn't it so? Is there any family which is a perfect family? Is there any relationship which is a perfect relationship? Is there any business which is a perfect business? Is there any career which is a perfect career? There is no such thing, don't seek that. Your life will become wasteful and fanciful if you seek such things. They all happen to the extent you're capable of handling them, that's all. So, you make sure the spiritual part of your life, you handle it 100% properly.
When Gautama, the Buddha, was asked, is it better to walk alone or in company? He said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. Well, that's him, not me. He was quite sure that only a fool will walk with you. So he said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. Certain lore in this country says, when you want to do a short and quick journey, walk alone. When you want to do a long journey, walk in company. But the important thing is, who is walking with you? Not always being together is a good thing. Many times, being together can be a nuisance. So, first and foremost, unless you are a twin, even then, we come alone and we go alone. If one does not know how to be by himself or herself, then being together can be a lot of nuisance. We are referred to as human beings. Human beings means every other creature is what it is simply because of what it does. But a human being can simply be, which is a unique quality of the human being, that we can simply be, that we are not compulsive action, that's what it means. Our action is conscious and judicious. But generally, when people get together, generally, people are in compulsive action. It can be an association where there could be a purposeful action, or it can be a gang where there can be more purposeful action, or it can be a crowd which can be a compulsive action. So essentially, to be human means we have reached that point of evolution within ourselves that if we wish, we can simply sit here, just be. We can consider as to what action to take and what not to take. This is definitely individual. When individuals come together, we say, it's we in plural, but still it is individuals who have to come together. To be an individual means you are not further divisible. That means you're just one. People find different ways to divide themselves within themselves. In India, with 18,000 years of cultural history, we have invented various words to divide ourselves. It's very common for people to talk in terms of Atma, Paramatma, Ahankara, this one and that one. But every culture has this in their own way. When things are going right, when good things are being done, if you ask people, they say, yes, I did it. When things don't go right, when things go wrong, then they will try to find somebody. If they don't find anybody, he is always there. When they are very wonderful, of course they take pride in being how wonderful they are. When they turn nasty, they say, it was my ego. Mr. Ego is always a fall guy. So individual means, but if I'm wonderful, it's me. If I'm nasty, it's me, all of you. Are you 24 hours wonderful? Hello? Are you 24 hours wonderful? No, sometimes wonderful, sometimes nasty, sometimes beautiful, sometimes ugly. It's okay. If we understand it is me who is capable of being absolutely wonderful and it is me who is capable of being absolutely nasty another moment, then gradually the number of moments of nastiness will keep on receding. If I see what is wonderful is me, what is nasty is… In India we have many words, it's my karma, what can I do? Now, you must fix this. Being an individual is very important, that means you're not further divisible. If I'm wonderful, it's me, if I'm nasty, it's me. If I succeed, it's me, if I fail, it's me. You have to fix this. I'm just asking you a simple question. Within this, how many people? Hello? How many people within you? 1, 2? Only one. If you're one, you're a normal human being. If you're more than one, you're either schizophrenic or you're possessed. You either need a psychiatrist or an exorcist. But you will see whenever things don't go right, another guy will pop up from somewhere. So, becoming an individual means you killed all those pop-ups and just said, this is me. This what is me has many dimensions. If I don't see this as an individual, I cannot divide this further, then transformation will not happen. If transformation does not happen, if people come together in that state, there will be more mess than solutions. All creatures hang out together. Whether it is various wild creatures, most of them hang out together. Even monkeys who are just one step behind us, they are also in bunches. It is only human being who can sit alone and transform himself or herself, because this is the prerogative of being human, that we can simply be. This is why you are called human being, you're capable of being. You're not in a compulsive state of activity. If you want, consciously you can evolve. In this evening you can evolve, if you're willing. It doesn't take 1,000,000 years, because our evolution is not biological anymore, our evolution is conscious. For every other creature, it is fixed. Nature has fixed two lines within which every other creature lives and goes. But once you have come as a human being, there is only bottom line, there is no top line. There is no limit as to how a human being can become. So before we associate ourselves with people, it'll be good every day in the morning or a certain period of your life, if one withdraws to spend a little time with oneself and see how, in what ways can this be little better than the way it was yesterday? This life, how it can be a little better life than what it was yesterday, because most people are coming together for their needs. To fulfill needs, people come together. Some people come together to fulfill a purpose or a cause. Some people come together to eat, drink and be together because they cannot be alone. This is something that every human being must do. A certain period of time, you do one thing, just 24 hours, take a break from everything, not today, right now you're among people. You take a break sometime, just 24 hours. And don't read, don't watch television, don't use the phone. Simply sit in your room, alert, not sleeping. And if you watch the nature of your mind, you yourself will certify, this is a madman. Because for most people, their mind cannot stay on any one thing. Unless they're in activity, simply they cannot be here. In compulsive state of psychological activity is on. When you are like this, you cannot be. That means you cannot be a human being. Being has to happen. Only then togetherness will be very rich. If you know how to be by yourself, then coming together will be hugely rewarding and of tremendous value. That means we came together consciously.
In this world, good people are suffering more or bad people are suffering more? Good people are always suffering more. Yes? People who think they are good, they are simply a suffering. Isn't it so? Please look at this. Now, first of all, how did you become good? He's not okay, she's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, she's not okay. Compared to all these people, I am a good man. From where did you get the idea that you are good? Tell me. You have compared yourself with lots of people and you labeled everybody as bad. And now you feel good. Somebody who thinks he is very good, in his mind, nobody in the world is okay. The more good you think you are, nobody is okay for you. Is that so? Isn't it so? People who believe they are very good people, nobody wants to go anywhere near them because they're so good, no life can happen. Your goodness is only in comparison with something else, isn't it? Yes? And you establishing yourself as good and making all these people are totally wretched people, then I am a really good man, isn't it so? Good people won't get anywhere, either in this world or in the other world. Can you take a joke? Do you have good digestion?
Huh? I'm not talking about that digestion. One day, in his previous life, Shankaran Pillai was a good man. After a brief illness, he died. Being a good man, he naturally went to heaven. He landed up at heaven, there at the reception committee of angels, opened his account book. Page after page, good deed, good deed, good deed, good deed, good deed. Cover to cover, only good deed. Then the angels were in confusion. Then they came to Shankaran Pillai and said, Mr. Pillai, there's a little problem here. He asked, what is the problem? He said, the angels said, see here we have various kinds of accommodation. In heaven, various levels of accommodation. One bad deed means highest heaven, sea front view. Two bad deeds, next level of accommodation, three bad deeds, next level of accommodation, like this. But no bad deed, we don't have such a place. We really don't know what to do with you. You are the first man to come like this. Shankaran Pillai thought, what nonsense. In the world, nobody wanted to come near me because I was such a good man. I lived with the hope of getting to heaven, and even here problem? Then the angels had a discussion and they arrived at a conclusion. They said, don't you worry, Mr. Pillai, we have found a solution. Your body is still intact there. We'll give you 3 hours of life. Just commit one bad deed. We'll put you in the highest heaven. Nothing is lost. Lo, Shankaran Pillai became alive here. Then he sat there thinking how to commit a bad deed. An hour and a half passed away. See, he's not like you, he has no practice. After an hour and a half, he remembered, in the neighborhood, there is a woman who is well beyond her prime, who's been casting inviting glances at him. He being a good man, he never looked that way. Now he thought, okay, adultery is a bad deed. Because after all, he's going to do whatever he is going to do just to go to heaven. So he went looking for the woman. He went and knocked on her door. She came and opened the door. When she opened the door, Shankaran Pillai said, I want you. Why, Mr. Pillai, just yesterday evening they told me, you're on your deathbed. What is this? He said, it doesn't matter, I want you. He went in. Nature took over, things happened between them. He doesn't want to die in her house. Time is running out. So he told her, I need to go. And he came to the door. The woman came to see him off. And she said, Mr. Pillai, do you know what a good deed you have done for me today? One more good deed. What to do? So good people will neither make it here nor there. It's not your goodness which liberates you. Your goodness is only in comparison with somebody else. Your goodness being in comparison with somebody else, it's not about goodness, it's a kind of sickness. It's just like, right now, people are going about like this. They are happy. They don't know what joy is. Their happiness is just that they have things that other people don't have. Isn't it? Now let's say, you are all very hungry, but my stomach is full. And I feel so happy that
Nobody has food, but at least I have something to eat. Is this happiness or sickness? Humanity is suffering from the sickness which is passing off as happiness for most people. Isn't it so?
We appreciate being part of this community. Let us know your reflections in the comments. Subscribe to not miss future explorations and invite your friends to explore with us.
nameless hero with the distance ours, a pull of force, yet nothing more. Just like the faces of the moon, my hopes and goals come and go. They rise and dip below my horizon. But one day, I will say my moon is found. My moon is found. My moon is found. The cold surrounds and clings the thought. The dark rise, but the sparkle drop. And though I drift with fame unknown, I feel the pull, the tether grow. But now I see the light ahead's been calling me. Oh, that is noon, I reach the end. Gotta move, let the chance not fade away. Every star was cold and still, but now there's heat, I feel that for I see the moon, it attracts me. The final stop where it all begins. So just like the faces of the moon,